So growing factor. Growing factor. So now, till now we understand what is meant by big O, big omega and theta notations, right? So every time we said ignore the constants while identifying the big O notation or big omega notation or theta notation. Just for example, if my algorithm complexity looks like this, okay, 5n square plus 100, okay, plus 2, okay, and this is one program algorithm and second program is n cube plus 100n plus 3, for example. These are two conclusions based on my algorithm. So I found the complexity like this for one algorithm and complexity for another algorithm. So while identifying our big O notation, asymptotic notations, as we earlier discussed, we are least bothered about this 100, 2 and 5, 100 and 3. So why exactly these are insignificant? Because for us to manage to represent in easy way, and we will focus on what is the growing factor in these two functions. So we will concentrate on growing factor instead of static fields or less important fields. For example, in these two functions, if you take this first function, what is the growing factor here? So my growing factor is definitely n. If my n increases, this function will take lot of amount of time, right? So for example, if my n is 1, 5 multiplied by 1 square plus 100 plus 2. So this is equal to 5 plus 100 plus 2, right? 107. Okay. So if my n increases to 1 lakh, so what is the result also will vary, but what exactly changed? This same, this same, but this n value increased. So the growing factor definitely is my n, this part, right? So that's the reason we are not considering, we are feeling these are insignificant while calculating the complexity of an algorithm when our n increases. So now let's identify for this what is the growing factor for this. So we will focus on what is the highest growing factor. In this case, let's imagine n cube plus 100n plus 3. See here, my growing factor can be this one or this one because n is in both places, right? So but if you observe this, when compared to n cube, 100n is less growing rate, right? If you are considering n as 1, then it will be insignificant, but when n grows larger number, then this value becomes more than 100n, right? So here in this case, my growing factor, even though it is n represented here, but this n cube will make the changes, make the difference when n increases. So the growing factor, actual growing factor for this function is n cube. So in this case, what exactly we will do? We will forget about these two variables, but we will concentrate on this thing while identifying our big O or big omega or theta notations. So growing factor is very important for your function while analyzing your asymptotic notations.